Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm Iggy, and usually we're diving deep into long-term strategies. But today, we're reacting to something that just hit the headlines and could impact your portfolio right here in Singapore. The investing Iguana is ranked 8th in the 2024 Influential Tigers by Tiger Brokers. We just crossed the 1 million mark for number of reads and 58,000 likes. I produced over 900 videos with more than 500,000 watch hours as of June 2025. I also focus on regional and global economic trends. If you want to stay ahead of these rapid market movements, stick around and learn how our premium members get my immediate take on everything. Breaking news just dropped yesterday. Japan's telecom giant NTT has officially filed its preliminary prospectus for what could be Singapore's biggest REIT IPO since 2021. We're talking about a potential billion-dollar listing on SGX that could launch as early as July. So what exactly is happening here? NTT is spinning off 6 of its data centers into a brand new REIT called NTT DC REIT. These aren't just any ordinary data centers either. We're looking at 4 premium facilities in the United States, with 3 located in California and 1 in Virginia. There's also 1 facility in Vienna, Austria, and 1 right here in Singapore at Serangoon North Avenue 4. The total appraised value of this entire portfolio? Around 1.6 billion US dollars. Now, why should you care as a Singapore investor? This would be the largest Singapore listing since Digital Core REIT raised close to $1 billion back in 2021. Our local exchange has been pretty quiet lately, with more companies going private than listing new ones. But this NTT deal signals some real momentum returning to SGX. Think about it like this. Data centers are literally the backbone of our entire digital world. Every Netflix show you stream, every Grab ride you book, every DBS mobile banking transaction you make, they all need data centers to function. And with artificial intelligence exploding everywhere and cloud computing growing rapidly, the demand for data center space is only getting stronger. The timing couldn't be more perfect either. The global data center market is experiencing unprecedented growth driven by AI adoption, 5G rollouts, and increasing digitalization across all sectors. Companies are scrambling to secure data center capacity, which means consistent rental income for REIT investors. But here's what really caught my attention and should grab yours too. GIC, our sovereign wealth fund, is coming in as a cornerstone investor with over $100 million committed. When GIC backs something, you know it's been thoroughly vetted and has serious potential. This is actually GIC's first investment in a Singapore-listed REIT, which makes it even more significant. Other major cornerstone investors include Hong Kong-based Viridian Asset Management, AM Squared, Pinpoint Asset Management, and US-based Gisalo Master Fund. What does this mean for your portfolio? Well, if you're looking for steady dividend income, data center REITs could be quite attractive. They typically offer solid and predictable dividends because they have long-term contracts with major tech giants and cloud service providers. Think of it as collecting rent from companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, who desperately need this infrastructure to run their operations. The preliminary prospectus shows an offer price of $1 US per unit, which makes it quite accessible for retail investors like us. With major investment banks including Bank of America, UBS, Mizuho, Citigroup, and DBS handling the underwriting, there's serious institutional backing behind this deal. Now, I'm not saying you should rush in blindly without doing your homework. We still need to see the final prospectus with all the detailed financial projections and exact timing. But this could definitely signal a revival for SGX listings, especially after our government introduced that attractive 20% tax rebate for primary listings earlier this year. For context, NTT's portfolio is strategically diversified across key global markets, including top-tier locations in the US and Asia-Pacific regions. The assets demonstrate robust income generation capabilities with a diverse base of premier customers and built-in organic growth drivers. Based on their financial projections, the REIT expects to distribute up to 90% of its distributable income to unit holders. For my premium members, I've been tracking this story since sources first started leaking details back in January. They got my detailed analysis on why NTT specifically chose Singapore over other major financial centers and what this means for the broader REIT sector. That's exactly the kind of real-time insight and early access you get for just $1 a month. Here's my immediate take on this whole situation. This listing represents much more than just another REIT coming to market. It's a strong vote of confidence in Singapore's strategy to revitalize our capital markets and position ourselves as the premier financial hub in Asia. NTT had plenty of options for where to list this REIT, but they chose Singapore for very specific reasons. Our regulatory framework is world-class, our strategic location connects east and west, and our market infrastructure can handle large, complex listings like this. Plus, Singapore has become a major data center hub in Asia, so there's natural synergy between the asset location and the listing venue. If this IPO succeeds and performs well in the secondary market, I expect we'll see more international companies seriously considering Singapore listings. That's fantastic news for market liquidity, investor choice, and the overall health of our capital markets. Data centers are also inherently recession-resistant businesses. Even during economic downturns, we still need our digital infrastructure to function. The broader implications are significant too. This could mark the beginning of a new cycle of major international listings on SGX, especially in the technology and infrastructure sectors. With the government's supportive policies and tax incentives, Singapore is positioning itself to capture more of the global IPO market. My advice for investors watching this space: keep a close eye on the final prospectus when it drops, which should happen soon with exact pricing details, allocation mechanisms, and the definitive launch timeline. This could be your opportunity to own a piece of the digital economy's critical infrastructure at what might prove to be an attractive entry point. The data center sector isn't going anywhere but up. With AI, machine learning, Internet of Things, and 5G all requiring massive computational power and data storage, these facilities are becoming more valuable every year. It's like owning prime real estate in the digital world. So that's my immediate take on NTT's billion-dollar REIT listing. In today's fast-moving market, staying on top of breaking news with solid analysis is absolutely critical for your investment success. If you found this quick breakdown helpful and want to get my real-time reactions and urgent insights on major market shifts every single day, delivered to you up to a week before anyone else sees them, then our premium membership is perfect for you. It's just $1 a month, less than a cup of coffee at your local kopitiam. Think of it as your daily dose of market agility delivered directly from my desk to yours. Ready to stay ahead of the curve? Just click the link in the description below to become a member and join our community of informed investors. For more background on Singapore's REIT market and why geographic location matters so much for data center investments, make sure to check out my previous deep dive video called Why Singapore REITs Are Your Gateway to Asian Growth. That video will give you the foundational knowledge to better understand why this NTT listing is such a big deal for our market.